My scrappy friends, I am back with a new video, and this one is going to be a fun one. And the reason why is this is for the Scale It Down series with Seemownay and Suzanna and they asked me to guest design for them while Seemownay has a family in town, and of course I said yes. So I am thrilled that they asked me, and I am so excited to share with you what I had in store for the Traveler's Notebook series. Now, if you don't work in a Traveler's Notebook, that's okay too, because all of the techniques that they do that can be also applied to any scrapbooking format. So let's go ahead and get started what I have today in store for you. And I am working in my Traveler's Notebook, so if you haven't been following me, I created a book for my kids for them to see in 2018 what were my favorites. So my favorite movie, my favorite book, and I am writing about it. And so today is number 4, prompt 4, and that is favorite food. So I had purchased what I showed you earlier, the Feed Your Craft stamp called Let's Eat, and as soon as I saw that food coma stamp, I knew right away I wanted to do the repeating technique. Now, I have never done this before. The first time around did not go so well, so I turned the paper over and I'm doing it again. And it actually didn't turn out so bad for the second time around. I did notice that I left a little bit of the gap on the bottom, and so I'm going to go ahead and fix that. One thing I love about stamping and that I've noticed is it's never going to be perfect. You are going to have those little imperfections, but that's what makes it so interesting. I also wanted to have one of the stamped images highlighted, so I'm going to use a different color, and I'm going to pick red. And then as I was looking at the picture, I knew what colors I needed to go through my stash. Now, unfortunately, it's just a lot of colors that I don't have in my stash. But I ended up finding this one 6x6 paper pad, and it is by Crepe Paper. It's called Storyteller. I must have got it probably at like TJ Maxx or something. And I rarely ever use it because, again, it's some colors that I just don't tend to use very often, but they end up working beautifully with this photograph of my favorite food. And so I made sure I picked 2 of the ones with the multiple colors, and then from there I can then pick out the other color or other pattern paper that would go with it under layers. And that's when I decided to pick out this yellow, I picked out an orange, a red, and then this green and cream polka dot. Now, whenever I do my layers, it is so easy to use them when they are already scraps. But because they're not in scraps, I'm not trying to think about it too much. I just know that I need a couple of them vertical and a couple of them square, and then I can tuck them behind one another. And I tend to keep my my layers really tight. It's just an easy way for me to kind of quickly put them all together without taking too much time thinking about it. Now, I did see and notice this spine notebook, right away with all the multiple colors, and I knew I wanted to have that one as a vertical strip going down. But I also didn't want it to be too long, so I didn't really want it too close to the top or bottom. I kind of wanted it in the center. And then, like I said, I had a couple of vertical and a couple of squares. I'm going to go ahead and place them down, and then I'm going to make sure to do what I wanted to do originally, and that was to have that photograph right above the word food coma. The one in red, I mean. Now, after that, I'm going to fussy cut off camera that floral paper that you see on the left, so that way I have a few embellishments, because while I was shopping in my stash, I picked out a whole bunch of brads, hoping that I could put a brad on there, but unfortunately, none of the colors really matched. Like I said, I just don't use these colors very often. And so I did end up finding a orange geotag, and I'm going to use one of those. And then I'm also going to use another image from that stamp set that says "This was super yummy," and then it has the utensils in the center of the circle. And so again, just using scraps of paper, creating my own embellishments by another stamp, by fussy cutting from a pattern paper from that same collection. So it didn't take a whole lot of embellishments to add it and give you the look of embellishments on this photo, or on this spread. Next, I'm going to go to the left-hand side, and I knew right away I didn't want it to be a white paper. I wanted it to be lots of color. So I picked the red and the orange because I was trying to use up the scraps. And when you use a 6x6 paper pad, it definitely does not fit a whole size of the Traveler's Notebook, because a Traveler's Notebook is 4 to 8 inches. Now I did mess up because I kept re-adhering that paper, because you definitely have to leave a little bit of a space between the crease of the inside of the Traveler's notebook for when you close it. That way it doesn't damage the paper at all. And when I lifted it up, it actually tore it, and I just took my tacky glue, you know, glued it all down, and then like it was just a little bit of a wrinkle. I knew with that orange paper I wanted to house my title, and how I came up with the title, when I was thinking of this, putting everything together, I just thought, gosh, it's such a treat when my husband and I go there to eat. Treat, eat. As soon as I thought that, that popped in my head, I'm like, wait a minute, I think I already got the title. And my title is going to be In for a Treat, So Let's Eat. Because we don't get to do this very often, because it's too spicy for the kids. They just don't like it. So we can only go when it's just us. So here I am going to stamp it in two different fonts. One is an Ali Edwards, and the other one I believe is an L Studio. And then in black. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did to the left side and that to the right side, and that is use the flower embellishments that I fussy cut. And one thing I did notice is that I needed to bring some of the green that was from that polka dot pattern paper to the right hand side as well. And I thought I need to still house my prompt number, which is 4, since it's my 4th prompt. And the chipboard that I was using originally did not match with this layout. So I ended up having to take that polka dot paper. I ended up using my EK Success label and punched one of those out to house where I'm going to use my October Afternoon 4. And it's just one of those little tile stickers in orange, and it's going to have that, like I said, the number 4. Now after I was all done and I put the flowers down, I'm also going to realize that I just need a little something more, and that's when I found another crepe paper. I don't even own any of this paper from this collection, but I have this sticker sheet for some reason. I guess it must have been on clearance. I don't know why I bought it, but it had the green that I was looking for, and it says the word love, because I definitely love my curry. It doesn't matter what kind of curry. Indian is my favorite, but like I said, I will eat any curry. So then after that, I'm going to call this good. I try to place it in a couple spots. I end up housing it right there. And then this layout is done. I just want to thank so much Seemownay and Suzanna for having me guest design. It was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed this. And I hope, Seemownay, that you are having a wonderful vacation. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel, I would definitely love to have you over here, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more of this Scale It Down series, which it is amazing, I will go ahead and link Suzanna and Seemonay's channel below. Alright everybody, you have a great evening. Bye!